All right, so invite links is going out right now. Um, yeah, as people are coming in, what's up? How's it going? Whew, man, that was an event. Refresh that. Okay, so we'll see how this works with Restream. But man, oh man, that was a show. That was an event. That was absolutely an event. I am. As you're coming in, feel free to say hi, say what's up. Let's see. Hang on. Okay, we. What's up?
Long time no see for somebody who's been hunting to be on my live stream. I've never been on yours, so I take this with an honor.
I figured that if you were gonna go live, I would join yours. You know what I mean? Just because like I'm not like aggressive on YouTube anymore.
Nah, I feel that. I figured, something, instead of doing 2 live streams at the same time, let's just make it nice and easy. I'll come join you because I felt, want to, hear from the man who actually this event is kind of really for. For me, I'm everywhere, but if I had picked somebody to do it with, I picked you. So I'm just glad to be here, period.
I appreciate that, dude. Like, I don't know, man. I just want to go and like hit Mark Gwim on Twitter and just be like, dude, give me one. Like, just give me one now. I got ideas for videos. Just give it to me right now.
I swear, man. I don't know why these, I swear there's so much things going on right now with the whole embargo thing. Apparently that's a thing. Somebody broke the embargo. Reviewers are not releasing their videos. Apparently they actually, matter of fact, one of the YouTubers, if you go on Twitter, actually posted the outline of what Google wanted them to do, and he said, I don't want to do it because of how, like, you got to check it out. It's all over the place.
I think, don't want to give out any sources, but like I've seen a copy of the embargo, man. It does seem kind of strange.
Little bit strange.
Yeah.
But man, were your reactions off the chart today. I've never seen you. I mean, listen, I've known you for a while now. I know how passionate you are. I gotta tell you, I've never seen you go so fanboy in all of the Pixel events that they've ever had.
I mean, it breaks a whole new barrier. So it's not so much just the Pixel. It's more of like what the tensor chip can do. I think that's what really got me, because it was like all the different things that they named that this chip is going to do. Is like, I look at my Pixel 5 now, and I love my Pixel 5, but I'm just like, dude, you're obsolete already. Like 80% of everything that this thing is going to offer, my Pixel 5 is not going to, because it doesn't have the tensor chip, so it's not going to be able to pull it.
I gotta tell you, I was so upset with the Apple event. That MacBook. I mean, listen. I'm not trying to talk Apple in this, but I'm going to tell you guys, as somebody who was looking forward to the MacBook, I was satisfied with the performance. I think they definitely nailed that. They nailed the versatility, but they completely failed with that display. And I said to myself, there's no way I'm dropping $3,000, $2,000 on a computer that looks like that. Every time I open it, I'm like, nah, I'm not doing it. That's one of the few moments where I actually stopped myself. So I was really depressed. I'm like, I'm not getting a new MacBook. So I said, you know what? Google's got to bring some kind of positive here. And they did. I'm actually feeling a lot better than yesterday. And I got to tell you, it was a really solid event. They didn't go all over the place. They didn't, blur it. It was focusing on the devices, which is something that I really liked. But I was really, really surprised with the prices, because I'm telling you right now, and you're gonna hear it from me first, this phone, the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro, are Galaxy killers. They are.
I was shocked with the pricing too, considering the fact that the Pixel 6 costs $100 less than last year's Pixel 5. And then the Pro version being what the Pixel 4 XL cost, $899 to start. And I believe the Pro has a 256 version, so that would be $999, I guess, $100 more. That's not bad. I think, like, if anyone goes on Twitter and completely bitches about the pricing, then my response would be lay off the crack. Because that's always been everyone's complaint, is like, it costs too much for what you're getting. Now this time, the 6 is like $100 less than what the 5 did, and the 5 is considered high mid-range.
Yeah, you're absolutely. And something that I've told people from day one, I've told them since day one, you know, when you're talking flagship, there should be no compromise. There is no compromise for a flagship. And Google did a really excellent job of keeping the flagship and mid-ranges separate. Now they have everything. I don't even think there's any more I can say. I've talked about it, we've heard about it, we've seen it, everything. But to really understand it better and to truly see the capabilities come to life is really shocking, but in such a positive way. Shocking in a positive way, but this is gonna sound crazy, but I'm actually thinking of buying one. I am that tempted right now because I'm looking for a second phone for business purposes, and I've been looking to go back to Android. That Pixel 6 Pro might be the hook that grabs me. I don't know, but I'm telling you right now, that is one hell of a device.
It is, man. Just all the things that's able to do. And here's the funny thing: when they dropped the price for the Pixel 6 for everybody to know what it's going to cost, and then I started thinking to myself, if everyone wondered what the hell was the purpose of the Pixel 5, now you look at the Pixel 6 and its pricing. Now we know what the purpose is, and that was, can Google build a solid device and price it low? They tested with the 5. Now we got the 6.
And to be fair, you know, the Pixel 6 is considered a flagship, but if you want to classify it as a premium mid-range, it's still in that caliber, but they didn't put mid-range specs in it. They went full flagship on it, so it's kind of hard to figure out where the standard 6 lies, but the 6 and the 6 Pro, I'm telling you right now, they're going to be some really good sales for Google. Like, I don't think people realize the magnitude of what Google has done today. Yeah. The magnitude, the hype for this phone, everything was just placed, like it just set everything up. Now the price was revealed, and we have on our hands the true iPhone of Androids. It's finally here. The true iPhone of Androids. That everything is here. There is no, what would I say? There's no compromise. It's everything.
Exactly. Yeah, that's one thing that about this event when they were going over every little bit of aspect. And I get maybe somebody who's like a hater is probably going to drop a thing talking about they talk too much about the chip. But the chip was the center focus of this, and for very good reason. Everything that the Pixel 6 encompasses is around the chip. What it can do, what it's going to be able to do, and pretty much fulfilling what Google said. They wanted to make a phone that's helpful. Well, this is going to be helpful in so many different ways, but I mean, so we'll go down the line. We'll go down the line of like different points that I want to hit. And obviously, it's going to start off with the camera because they really did outline a lot of major changes with the camera. The magic eraser, the fact that it's using machine learning to correct color tones and not just white or black, but going in between those spectrums and just bringing that good photo that people want. And I understand. I mean, the guy kind of felt a little political vibe. I dismissed that because I'm not interested in that. But it is true, though. For a long time with cameras, it's really hard to get someone's skin tone accurately. I think this is going to do it.
No, yeah. I think, when we look at Google, when you look at Google's marketing, they do have a really good, track record with camera and software performance. And the tenure dip is so capable on that level that I can honestly see it really outperforming the iPhone 13. Now, Apple has very good cameras. I'm not going to dispute whether who's better. I just think everybody has good cameras. But when we're talking really tight integration, when it comes to like optimization, performance, I think Google has always had that edge. They've always had it, but now they're probably going to have an even bigger advantage with tenure chip.
Yeah, definitely. With that, like I said, looking forward to that. But we've known like Pixels have always been identified with photography, and like I'm glad that they're still on top of it and they're still making advancements. Like, like they don't feel like they've hit that glass ceiling. They continue to go forward, and that's good. The other side of the camera is what I think a lot of people who back Pixels have been waiting for, and that's video.
Yeah.
The video, what they showed, what it was going to be able to do, how are they going to fix a lot of the problems that they had with video, and kind of just now make it rival the iPhone? Because iPhones is good with video. Hands down, I'll agree with anyone who says that statement, that iPhones take really good video. You can't argue that point. I shot a video with the XS. That's an old phone, and it still handled pretty well. So to see that they're focusing on video too, because they understand that the market for their phones, the users that use it, that are not geeks and nerds, that are just regular people, want a good video. And they addressed that with this. And I think the way that they addressed it was a great way to start out, because it can be built upon going forward.
Yeah, a lot of people nowadays are using their smartphones as main primary photography and filmmaking. I'll be honest with you, I use a GoPro as my camera because the GoPro for filming my show is so much easier. But after seeing how far smartphones have come, I'm not afraid to sometimes switch it up. I might actually switch it up here and there with smartphones. Like we're talking iPhone or Google, anybody. The quality is just getting better, and it's not stopping anytime soon. So it's actually very shocking to me how far the whole camera tech in a smartphone has gotten. But look at what Google did: 50 megapixel, 48 megapixel. We're talking some huge sensors that not even, okay, maybe Samsung, but Apple ain't even using it. I don't think OnePlus is using it in that extent. And
yeah,
when you look at Android smartphones, the only one that really rivals an Android would be Sony. Sony Xperia phones have good cameras because they're using Sony lenses.
Yeah.
Now Google come out and they're going like, you know what, we're swinging for the fence, and they're probably going to hit a home run.
Definitely. Are you watching the Sony event on Thursday?
No, I actually won't. I will actually be getting back. As a matter of fact, I got to get back to filming some Technoid shows. Tomorrow I'll be covering the Samsung event, so you'll have that. But also, I just released, it actually got time release, I didn't actually share it out yet. My Liberty 3 Pro unboxing video just got dropped, so I'll focus on that after this is all done.
Yeah, I'm gonna go watch it after.
Appreciate
it. I mean, like, I don't know. What was it? I had a discussion with Latrell and Mike. Like they're always hitting me up with things, and like that's why I said, like, I shout out members of Team Pixel, because like they want me a part of it as well. And even like Tony Pazzo, man, like they don't share confidential information, because that's what I tell them. Like, don't give me anything that can get you booted out, because that's the last thing I want is for me to say something in my video and then they trace it back to you. So yeah, me and them are good on that. But I just love the fact that, they hit me with so much info that they can share to keep me in the loop. And if people ever wondered how do I know certain things or where am I getting this stuff from, it's a couple of more Team Pixel members. I'm not going to list all of them, but they seem to just send me stuff. It's like, you guys are like, I don't want to get you guys in trouble.
Yeah. Last thing I want, everybody knows. Everybody knows you're the one person that truly deserves to be a part of T-Pixel. I've said it many times. I've been vouching for you since day one, and I'm going to keep vouching for you until you get that Pixel sent to you in your inbox. So I'm going to keep vouching for you. I mean, I may not be able to do as much as them, but I definitely keep spreading the word. But I will say, those guys keeping you in the loop help you out majorly because it shows the dedication to you, and it shows that, you know, you have to inform your viewers, you have to inform your subscribers, and you have to make sure that you're able to provide the content.
Yeah, I mean, the video you did, dude. Like, I'll be honest, okay? Like, my girlfriend, she keeps making fun of me about it because, like, I'm a softie. So I wear my heart on my sleeve. My emotions show through a lot of things, and yeah, it was a tearjerker when you said that segment in your video, and yeah, I kind of dropped a tear because I've, just someone that can see my passion for it and say it. It was like, whoa, like, everyone can feel it. Like, I get people who are like, yo, you need to be a part of Team Pixel, and I'm so grateful that everyone feels that way. And then it hits me. It hits close to home because, I mean, like, I always tell people, it's okay if I never get in it. It's totally okay. I don't mind buying the phone and stuff like that. Like, I was excited to get invited into Pixel Superfan, which I really wish the community and that page would really change up just a little bit, because I feel like that the whole purpose of Pixel Superfan is for people who truly enjoy the Google Pixel phones to give critical feedback, so the developers of Pixels can take that feedback and apply it in. And I feel like it did in some way do that. But right now there's more and more people being brought in, and it just seems like it's more of just like a spot for people to complain about the Pixels or share photos of their food, which I'm guilty of doing from time to time. But
oh, Jesus.
That's a lot of photos. But not enough dialogue, like what could make a Pixel better. What, like, we have the Pixel 6 now. I would love to have dialogue in that group to say, okay, what would make the Pixel 7 better than the 6? But we're not having those things, so.
You know what? It's also another thing that I personally don't like about the whole Team Pixel. And I'm not saying like anybody in particular, but some of the members they pick, where are their qualifications coming from? Some of the members are just people that don't make YouTube videos. If they're a fan, that's fine. But if you need real input, if you need real information, you should be targeting people like you, that dedicated YouTubers, dedicated fans that can give consistent feedback on a daily basis. You definitely need to make sure you're giving it to the right person, because giving a phone to a headphone reviewer makes absolutely zero sense, because a headphone reviewer focuses on audio and other things. They don't have time to focus on a smartphone. So maybe try picking your members better, Google.
Yeah, people kind of question that thing. I'm just more of like, at this point right now, because like right now, I know for a fact that some of my friends that are in Team Pixel, they're excited to get their phone. I'm excited to see what reviews they're gonna do. I've kind of tossed out a little bit of ideas, like I told Latrell, like when he gets his, he should demo definitely the language translation in real time. So he's coming up with a way to kind of figure out how to do that. Kind of giving him ideas, like, go like I told Mike, since he lives out in Texas, I was like, dude, grab your tripod and your phone mount, go out into the sticks and hit some astrophotography. Like, these are some things that people kind of look into. I mean, like, I know everyone doesn't really go to take an astrophotography shot, but when you kind of show what you can do with the phone, it can create unlimited ideas of how creative you can be with these things.
Yeah.
Whoa, this person's like, their order got removed. What?
Yeah, I think the page is broken. I think a lot of people are trying to get their orders in, and I think it's not going through. So good luck with that. But nah, man, like, they really gotta pick some better people. I mean, or at least better people, I should say. They should pick more consistent Android phone reviewers, Android phone YouTuber fans, and things like that. Yeah. Going with other people that have nothing to do with smartphones, that's not a good idea. I don't think so. I mean, if they're a fan in their own right, sure. But if you're looking at the target market, you're looking at demographic, you gotta focus on those that can provide for that one niche. You can't have the guy that multitasks all over the place, because he's gonna focus on audio and headphones and speakers. That's why I stopped doing reviews on phones, and I stick with what I know. So, for example, I still do my show. I still, have fun wherever I can, but I still keep up with audio reviews because I love headphones, and that's just something I do as a side piece. I don't do it as a profession, but If I do branch off here and there, it's usually either a company sends me something and I'm kind enough to give them the benefit and try it out. Normally I try not to do it, but if it's something small, give it a shot. So for me, I don't qualify for any smartphone review. I'm sorry, I can't do it again. It was too much for me. I feel like headphones are enough for me.
No, to be quite honest with you though, when you got the Pixel 4a and you did your review on it, I thought you did a hell of a job on the review, and like your focal points in that video was far different than what we normally see on YouTube, and that was ultimately very captivating. Because I mean, like, yeah, like, you know, like everyone does the reviews, unboxings, and they hit the same target points in their reviews, and I think that's kind of played out. This is kind of like the reason why, like, I feel like besides the whole pandemic thing and all that stuff, for content creators who are like, yo, my view counts dropped and my AdSense dropped, and it's like, yeah, but you know, also we continuously do the same thing. Like, when can we do something different? So when seeing your Pixel 4a review, when you took it out to the park and you tested out the cameras, you tested out the audio quality, you tested out things that people will touch base with minimum and not really go more in depth with. So I like your videos. So honestly, even if you don't want to do like phone reviews, if you ever did want to, I think you would be a great fit for them, because your whole point is more of a realistic thing. You're not feeding to the nerds and the geeks. You're feeding to the everyday end user. And that's a dramatic difference.
I appreciate hearing that. I have actually looked back at that video, so I don't remember, but I appreciate that there's people out there that do appreciate that take. And like I said though, if I do it again, it would have to be a smartphone that, like, you know, like you said, for the average everyday person, because iPhones are done every day. This phone's gonna be done. I'd rather you see. That's why I'd rather give up my place. If I was offered a position at Team Pixel, I'd say, nah, I'm gonna pass on that. I'd give it you, because at least even with the well that you've said about me, at least you're a more consistent Android fan. You're a more consistent reviewer. You're a more consistent talker than me. I do a show. I talk about rumors, leaks, and I have fun on the show. I have the green screen, I got the effects, the intro, and the flow of it. And that's me. I'm not going to be no famous guy. I'm just going to have some fun. And that's all I ever care about. I don't care about being the biggest guy in the world. I don't care about having thousands and thousands of subs. I just do it for the ride. I just have fun with it. That's all I can do.
So you already know what my next question is going to be. And that question is a exclusive intro. What are we getting next?
Oh boy. You know, I love it. I love when people ask me. So I was actually planning on doing some Halloween stuff. My show is decorated for Halloween. I decided to do Doctor Who as my dress up for the show. I was gonna do something spooky. I was gonna do something I did last year, but I wanted to change it up. So I stuck with what I like, Doctor Who, obviously. So after that, November, we're going to go back to the purple. That'll be the last month of the purple theme, because in December, we'll switch over to Christmas, and then January, we revamp the show. I'm going to start pushing the teasers and stuff for the next year's show. I think I started it here and there, but in regards to special intros, good question. You know, I was actually thinking about that. And I had a list. I had a list of intros that I was gonna work on throughout the year, and I actually can't find that list. But if I find it, I will be the first one to tell you. But I can tell you that, you know, things are a little busier than they are, unfortunately. So it is gonna take a little bit of time for me to get back into the swing of those. But if I had to pick. If I had to pick an intro that I can recreate, it's got to be something that everybody watches. I'm telling you that right now. It's something that everybody's watching. It's not going to be something that I watch. See, man, you put me in a box. You put me in a box. Tito, I hate you for that.
I'm a fan of those. I really am.
No, of course. I'm glad you are. I am actually really, really glad that you are a fan of those. I'm actually looking for that list right now as we speak. But real quickly, while I look for the list, I got a good question. with the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro, do you think that is going to revamp the sales, especially in the flagship area for Google? Do you think that that's going to be enough? Do you think it's going to get them over the hump? What do you think?
I'm thinking that with the amount of marketing that they did, because let's face it, they really did go balls to the wall with this one, to the point where people are screaming that it's actually overhyped, the amount of attention it's got. I would say that this is actually, Google should see some sort of spike in their sales and also recognition, only because there's like, with all this marketing, people that I know that really don't know what a Pixel is now know what a Pixel is. They're hearing about it. Then you have, of course, all these features that come into play that's being just like broadcasted of what you're going to be able to do with the phone, and then the pricing really is going to hit it out the park for Google. I think that this is exactly like for instance, take it back to where John Prosser was with the Pixel 4 announcement, right? And he was like, they're gonna knock this out of the park. We just need a price. And then the price came, and then people were like, it kind of went down. With this pricing, mouths are gonna be talking. And that's all it takes. It just takes one person to be talking about it, like on a subway train, on a freaking, on the monorail train, at a bus stop, at a freaking mall, just like, yeah, I'm gonna get the Pixel 6. It's like $599. You can do this. Someone's gonna hear it. It's gonna pique their interest. Something that's a little bit different on the outside of things, and just how powerful this device is, but also how efficient it is too at the same time.
Yeah. I think for me that's gonna pick up big time, especially the Pro end. The 6 honestly is not a bad device. People were making a fuss about the whole bezel and stuff, which was really stupid. I hated. I swear, if there was ever time for like one of those buttons you press when somebody just hits a slap, that was the moment. That was the moment.
Oh, that'd be cool. Maybe Staples got a Staples button. See if they got the Staples slap.
Yeah.
I don't know why people were complaining about the bezel. First of all, it's not going back to something like the Pixel 2. That has bezels, right? People want to really complain about bezels. I've never been one to really focus on the bezel of the device, because I guess the way that I use my phones, within 15 to 20 seconds, my visuals have screamed that everything else in my peripheral is gone. Unless I'm absolutely looking for it, I'm not going to see bezels. So, I mean, I've never understood the complaint of bezels, and I've never understood the complaint of fingerprints when you can just become OCD and wash your hands and you would leave less residue. I don't know. These things, I feel like there are people who intentionally look for something to be picky about just so they can say something on social media.
They're just those type of people. They have to find something to say. They just can't ever accept the fact that it's literally just a smartphone. They just gotta find something. They can't leave well enough alone.
Yeah. Like for me personally, I will tell people this. The Pixel 6 and 6 Pro is not a perfect phone. And I would never want it to be a perfect phone, because I want there to be competition. Like my whole thing with the mobile market is let there be real competition, because the winners, when you have real competition, is us. Because you got Apple that's like, okay, Google did this, so we're gonna do this, and we're gonna put this out for our fans, our users. And Samsung's like, well, we don't want to get left behind in the dust, so we're gonna bring this. So now that there's like basically Samsung, Google, and Apple, and it circulates of who's doing what. Yeah. It still allows it, because we have more options. Whatever calls to us, whatever we identify with of like, that's what I want on my phone, will bring you to that phone that you want to buy. If everything is like, we finally found the perfect phone, then the mobile market's dead. Mobile technology is dead once you have the perfect phone, because what's the point of looking anywhere else?
You're absolutely right. And I think one of the other big things that they talked about was the 5-year software support. And I don't think that's security either. It's all 5 years of OS upgrade. Mm-hmm. I think that's what they said. I think I could be wrong. Clear that up for me if I'm wrong. But that's a big deal. Everybody was afraid. They were worried that they said, oh, it's going to be 4 years and then 1 year security. No, it's 5 years. That's now on par with Apple. So we now have a device that is on par with the iPhone. And just 1 second. Little guy just came in here, wanted to say hi. Look at her, she's running in already.
That's funny. That's cool.
She opens the door when she wants to be seen. But anyway, I think the 5-year OS upgrade is the biggest draw for me. I like that they were going for that. And I also, real quickly, I found a list. So I think my next intro, and I retweeted it, so you can check out the list. So we did BoJack Horseman. We got 6 more to go. But I'll probably hit The Office next.
That would be cool.
That's just a side thing. But anyway, back to Pixel 6. I think, like I said, it's both devices, 5-year upgrade. That's both devices. And even if the Pixel 6 isn't as of a cable device, even though it isn't as a powerhouse as the Pro, it's gonna last just as long. So imagine paying $600 for a device that'll last you 5 years. Win-win right there.
Yeah, I see them doing because it's a 5 years minimum OS support. So that's minimum. They can actually the 6 could probably go 7 years. So they're saying minimum 5 years. But the insane thing about this, and like when I was talking with several people on Facebook about it, they were like, they might make the same mistake as Apple did, shooting themselves in the foot, requiring people to less upgrade. And I feel that's not really it. I feel like with this, it's a great move because, yeah, someone who wants to hold on to their phone for more than 2 years is definitely going to benefit from this. Definitely beyond 3 years. Like, I mean, honestly, I feel like if I bought the Pixel 6, I may not really feel the need to move higher unless they sell me on a major reason to move higher, which is good. Because no matter what, people buy phones differently. Some people, they gotta have the latest phone, so every year they're upgrading. Then you got people who just want to kind of stay with something that just works. So it plays across the entire board. At least we're not limited to 3 years with only 2 OS updates and 1 year security. Like, at least we're not there anymore. Now it's broader. I like that. I can hang with that. Definitely. Yeah, that's
another thing that I liked. Another positive that I found with the Pixel 6 and Pro, that translator at the end they did, bro, that thing just put translators out of business. It is so accurate. It is just on point. Like I didn't actually think like Google was gonna do something like that. Like there were so many things we didn't think of, and to see them put on stage was amazing.
It was. That one touches a little bit more home base with me, and is absolutely one of the reasons why, like, I will in fact get me the Pixel 6. No matter one way or another, I'm going to buy it here soon. But that's just because, like, sad case, and I really didn't broadcast this one, but my mother suffered a second stroke, a second major one. So she's now bedridden. She's not able to move like she used to. So I already know that it's coming to her time. And like, my mom and I, we talk every day, thanks to Google Fi and their unlimited international calling. So I talk to my mom every day, and she's fine. She's already basically like, come to terms with it. She's happy. She just doesn't want me to be, hurt or destroyed when it's time to go, because she keeps telling me it's her time. But I know that when she does, I have to go to Thailand. I have to go there because in Thailand, in my mom's tradition, what they believe is that for my mother to go to what I guess what would be considered heaven, the son goes to a monastery for a minimum 30 days, and he stays in the monastery with the monks, like shaved head, everything. And so I told my mom I would do that for her. So I'm gonna have to go to Thailand and stay there for at least 3 months. To settle the affairs and everything like that. And while I know the language very minimal, I mean, asking for little things here and there I can do. Holding out a long conversation I can't do. This is where the Pixel 6 is going to come in hand for me, to be able to talk with my cousins, to talk with friends of the family, and to basically like settle my mom's affairs and everything like that, and make sure that everything goes tight. With that translation, I know for a fact, I'm very confident it's going to help me when I'm there. And that's like the big major thing that I'm looking at when it comes to the Pixel 6. It's just how and it's able to do it offline, which I think that they kind of missed that opportunity to emphasize that in their discussion. Was it can be done offline. The chip can handle the translation without the need of internet access. That's crazy.
Wow. I actually didn't know that. So I hope your mom does well. I know what you mean when you say that, but I hope that she's still around. I hope she gets better. I hope. But when you do things like that, like you see those kind of stories, those kind of things that really hit you to home, like you said, those are highlights, and more importantly, things of why people like you need to be heard, especially in these like Team Pixel things. These are stories. These are life-changing things. These are real, practical, everyday human instinct things, and I feel like that to me is more meaningful than probably half of anything I've ever heard from any member from Team Pixel. We see reviewers talk about, oh, it's this and that, and we go to forum. But like what you just said, the way you described it and laid it out, like there's no other way to put it. That's really powerful.
Yeah, that's kind of the reason why I got one of the major things that I invest. I mean, like I know that Google and major tech companies, they're all gonna have their skeletons in the closet. People are always gonna like shine the light on the dark spaces with them, right? Like you can't put 100% faith and trust into a giant tech company like Google or even Facebook or any of those companies. But at the same time too, like everything has to be in balance, right? Yin and yang. There's always got to be some form of balance. One cannot exist without the other, And I'm not making an excuse for Google's dark stuff, but I've more focused on the things that is going to help me. And I think that's in the tech community. That's where we're kind of getting lost at when it comes to these things. Like we want to look at so much conspiracies and so much things and data ciphers and everything. And I tell people all the time, data ciphers happen by you just uploading your stuff. Like if you really don't want anyone having your info, get off the internet. Like don't play an online game, play a board game. Bust out Parcheesi or Double Trouble or whatever. Like so when people ask me like, well, why do you back Google when Google does this and they take your data and they do this and they do that? It's like, I don't care if they have my data. What the hell are they going to get out of me? Like I'm just an average person with like a mediocre credit score. Like they're not going to do anything with me. But what I want is what they're providing, like the advancements in the health industry that Google is not really showcasing, but they are involved. The same things like with Apple, like when people are like, you're an Android guy and you get happy when you hear that Apple's adding this to the Apple Watch for health reasons. And I'm like, because it's going to change things. Like the whole thing with them and their advancements with working with diabetics, because I'm type 2 diabetic. Definitely putting that in the Apple Watch and make it to where it can in some way read your glucose levels without having to always be pricked in your finger, because that stuff sucks. Like those are things that I thoroughly back. And so when they do helpful things, when Google does helpful things, the translation and everything like that, and I see the value in it, it's very uplifting, and it just keeps me a fanboy of it. It's the only reason why I fanboy out. It's just like I know how it's going to help somebody else because I already found a reason for it to help me. So I know there's somebody else out there it's going to help. Definitely.
It's a win-win for everybody in the end of the day. It's a win. Anyway, listen, Tio, I would love to stay on for as long as I can, but I got work in a little while, so I'm actually just going to wrap up real quickly here to give my final thoughts for me at least. I know if you want to keep going, you keep going. I'm going to be watching you. But I'm going to say this, bro. After everything we talked about, after everything we discussed, even all the stuff on my show, I really think that the Pixel 6 and the 6 Pro are the best. I do think they are the best that I at least have ever seen Google make a device. I think we've seen them come so close, or we've seen them come almost far away. There's always been like an if they just do kind of thing. I feel like now there's no more excuses. They did everything we wanted, and there should be no reason for anybody to start talking crap about them. Although there are some controversies going on right now with the whole embargo and all the reviews and stuff coming out. We'll worry about that when the time comes, but right now, focusing on the devices, overall, it's really great, I gotta say. I think that if I had to pick a device that I'm looking to buy, if I'm looking to purchase, I think I'm gonna probably go Pixel 6 Pro. That's the way to go if you're an Android user, because there's nothing else out there that can match that, at least for now. We'll see what happens with Samsung, but It's a bad boy, man. There's a, as James Brown put it, that's a bad mother.
Definitely, man. Hey, dude, I appreciate that you came on here and hung out with me. I'm going to continue going forward, but I will put Technoid's channel link into the description, and also I will drop it in the chat. You guys, if you're not subscribed to Technoid, what the hell are y'all waiting for? Y'all are missing a great show. And like I said, your intros, dude, oh my God. Like, your intros just have me blown away. And this is one day, if I ever go to your neck of the woods, I would love to just sit and watch how you do things when you make these intros. I am so curious to know like what goes into like replicating Power Rangers, replicating, what was the other one? Was it Full House or was it Family Matters? It was Family Matters, right?
Family Matter, yeah. Family Matter.
Family Matters, like you, and not even just the intros, but just your characters. Like you have legit characters that come on that just, woo!
I gotta bring them back. They're gonna come back, I promise. I've taken a little break from them because a lot of biz stuff, don't have really time to make time, but I promise they're gonna come back, and they're gonna come back in a big way, I promise.
I'm looking forward to it. That's why you guys should subscribe to his channel, man. Definitely. Besides getting all the tech news, which other people love, y'all get some flavor with it, and lots of flavor.
I appreciate it, brother. And I appreciate your support. I appreciate what you bring to the table, and I'm always gonna be watching you, man.
I appreciate it, bro. Thanks so much, man. Thanks for joining me.
You stay safe. Take care, brother.
All right, you too, man.
Peace.
By the way, everybody, don't ever try to attack this guy in public because this dude trains in MMA too, man, which is very impressive, bro. Like, seriously. But glad to have Technoid on here. You guys have any questions? You guys, anyone want to join in? Let me know, and I will DM you a link on Twitter. But the things that Technoid said towards the end, really, let's kind of go off of that and continue on, because the way that I feel about it, is very similar to what he just said. Google has no excuses anymore. Like, honestly, I feel like that every Pixel device was a lead up to this, right? With the Pixel 1 being their initial step into the hardware game. With the Pixel 2 trying to refine that, but kind of sticking to the same style and seeing how that works, how their end users, and that thing's like bugging me. It's like up there. But like how their end users respond to the design language and everything like that. Which, when you remember the Pixel 2 and the 2 XL, HTC had a hand in the Pixel 2, and LG had a hand in the 2 XL, right? I don't know if you guys ever found the video on YouTube that showed what the 2 XL would have looked like if HTC fully kept control of designing those two phones. And there's actually a real like review demo unit of the Pixel 2 XL that the front looks exactly like the Pixel 2 with the giant bezels housing the front firing speakers. There's actually one out there. Android 12 is officially out. Yeah, I got my devices updated already. Yep, it's officially out. Android 12 is officially out to download and install. It was officially released October 4th, but 15 days later, it's officially going to all of the devices that were on the Android beta. As far as like other companies like Samsung and Motorola and Xiaomi and all them, it depends on them when they're going to update their devices to Android 12. But as far as Referrals and such, they are out. I think the ones that were in the beta program, so like I think OnePlus was also part of the beta program. So then that device should be receiving their Oxygen OS version of Android 12. But anyways, yeah. So back to the whole thing. So the Pixel 3 kind of stepped up to see like if there was a chance that they can overdo it with the design and the build quality, right, of the Google Pixels. And then the Pixel 4 was more on the experimental side by bringing in things such as Project Soli, which was motion, which is what they call motion sense, being your phone being able to respond to your hand movements and gestures. So that was another thing, that led up to it. And even the Pixel 5, like I said, the Pixel 5 has to be given recognition because if this, I feel like Google tested, could they do they have to go with a mid-range chip to reduce the price or is it possible for them to build something that's powerful, that's smart, that's also power efficient, and be able to keep the price low. Again, the shocking thing was when this came out, this was $699. The Pixel 5 was $699 with the Qualcomm Snapdragon 765G and the Snapdragon X52 modem. Now, they didn't talk about the modem that was in the Pixel 6, but they, in fact, have a price of $599 for the Pixel 6. There's going to have to be some sort of real in-depth breakdown of what makes the Pixel 6 Pro $899, which is a $300 difference. There has to be something within the Pro that's not within the 6 that would justify a $300 price difference. I understand people are going to take to Twitter and social platforms talking about that. But what I'm saying here is that, the 5 was like beta testing. Can they bring an affordable price? Because the Pro series is obviously meant for those people who need a absolutely, truly beast of a phone, right? If you're going to use that to shoot video for YouTube, but shoot video sketches, guys like Tim DeLaGhetto, who I'm a big fan of, all those guys that do those comedy skits or do, whatever, right? Like the Pro, obviously the name Pro in it has to give it a pro feel and a pro use. Therefore, it would definitely be the one to go if you need such a professional experience. And I feel like the Pixel 6 gives you everything that you would slightly feel in the Pixel 6 Pro, minus a few things, obviously, because it is the actual entry flagship, high mid-range, wherever you want to classify it. I'd say it's a flagship, hands down. But it's the entry flagship for the 6 series. The Pro, obviously, stepping up, right? It's like going for an iPhone 13 or going for an iPhone 13 Pro, right? The 6, I feel like a lot of people are going to gravitate more towards because it's $599, right? We're not out of the weeds yet when it comes to our financial struggles that we've gone through in the last almost 2 years already. We're not out of that, and I know that there's people out there who really want to get a new phone, and there's a lot of people who are Pixel owners and Pixel users who really want to get a new phone, but they didn't go last year with the Pixel 5 because it was basically $700 for the phone. $699, you got to think, add taxes, everything, it shoots over $700. And they were like, no, so they stuck with their Pixel 3s and their Pixel 4s, right? It would definitely be that point that this would be the one that people would definitely gravitate towards because of that $599 price tag. So what I was told from certain sources and stuff like that didn't really pan out the way that was said. And I'm glad that I can definitely be wrong because, from sources, I was told it was about $750 for the 6 and $950 for the Pro. I am so glad to be wrong. What's up, Mike? How's it going, man? How's it going? Let me know if you want a link to come in. If you want to come in, I'll send you a link on Twitter if you want to come in and talk about it. You are a Team Pixel member, so I'm sure after seeing this event and seeing all the things that the Pixel 6 Pro and the 6 can do, that you've got to be super excited to get your review unit coming in soon. So let me know if you want in. I will send you a link to join in. But I feel like that the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro is the culmination of all the previous Pixels and what it's up to now. Yeah, I'll send you an invite. I'm letting people come in and share their thoughts. So, yeah, let me pop open Twitter. Get Twitter open. Where's Latrell? Hopefully he's not sleeping. Hopefully he didn't sleep through the event. If Latrell slept through the event, then it's not a Pixel 6 Pro he's getting. He's getting a big, fat, whopping Toyota Corolla. Oh, here we go. All right, this time we're going to be on Restream. So Google Store is overloaded. It won't let you place. Yeah, it's crashing. Insane, right, Christian? It's so freaking insane. I'm glad you're letting me know in real time. Obviously, I'm not gonna be able to order the phone today. Like I said, it probably won't be like till like the end of November or December that I'm going to be able to get this phone in hand, and then I'll be able to do all the wonderful ideas that I have for reviews. Now that I know what the Google Tensor chip is able to do, there are so much things that I want to make videos about. Unfortunately, I'm poor. I'm not rich, so I can't just go and buy it. But I will get it, guys. And anyone who watches, just know I will get one. And when I get one, you'll know. I'm not going to unbox it because there's going to be so many unboxings. I'll get past that. I'll tell you guys what's in the box. But, I mean, I'm not going to do a formal unboxing. But I will make countless videos of what this phone can do. There are so many freaking ideas I have that I just want to test this phone out and show people what it can do. So be expecting those. Yeah. But on the other side, hey, Ladies Red Tech Review, I'm sure you're excited for that. If you watch the event, I don't know if you're at work, but if you watch the event, $599 for the freaking Pixel 6, man. That's insane. And welcome my next guest.
Hello. How's it going?
You lucky duck. You're going to get one in your hand, man. Oh my God.
Yeah, so I confirmed the package weight because I'm still new to the whole like FedEx like managed delivery system, I guess, and it is over 3 pounds. So most likely I will be getting both devices, or at least that's what a lot of people are saying.
I'm thinking it's both devices and the Pixel stand, which is funny. They didn't talk about the Pixel stand at all, but it was announced. So I'm thinking you're getting all three of those things.
Whoa, Restream is so weird. I'm like getting used to this UI. I've never seen the Restream little environment thing over here.
Oh hell yeah, yeah. There's gonna be so many unboxings, Bridget. So I definitely agree with you there. That's the reason why when I buy mine, I'm not gonna unbox it. There'll be like so many unboxings. I think people just want to get straight to the point, and that's reviews. I mean, I know you're gonna unbox it. You better unbox it.
I should be getting it tomorrow. What's up, Lady Red Tech? I think she's in the chat also, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I mean, I think I showed a little bit of that excitement during the event. You know what I mean? I kind of toned it down already, brought myself back down to reality. You know what I mean? But yeah, for the most part, I was really the thing that impressed me the most about the event was the real tone aspect of like the picture taking. Because I did notice like it's something that no one ever really talked about, you know what I mean, with picture taking and photo, or at least not to my knowledge, as far as like, colors of races and, different ethnicities, etc. like that. How like sometimes when you're taking pictures like with those other cameras that it's just not what you would normally see, or what you would want to see, the stuff just wasn't as good. And the fact that Pixel, the Pixel 6 team looked into that and they dedicated a team to making that right. I thought that was amazing. I was like, wow, like this they're really trying to go for like a bunch of different things going, including the camera improvements all the way around. I'm getting a phone call. I'm gonna step off really quick. Hold on, let me just turn off my camera really quick.
Okay. But when you're ready to come back in, Mike, just thumbs up me. I'll put it on the side for right now. No, but he's right though. The cameras, that's insane. And now we know why the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro has that camera bar. They're using a light bending so they can use a bigger sensor. That totally makes sense. Like, I mean, when you look at all these different size camera sensors, right? Like the square camera sensors like these and such, right? You always wonder like what are they for? What do they do, right? And you're trying to figure out what purpose do they have. Seeing that, as they said, with their 48 megapixel telephoto, the sensor's actually sideways. It's inside the camera bar, where the actual lens sensor is the lens sensor itself.
All right,
is
sorry
in the
about
front.
That. Let me get the microphone back. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. But yeah,
okay, sorry about that. Coworkers just calling.
No, that's fine. That's fine. What I was saying is, like, I was talking about the 48 megapixel telephoto because they're actually using they're using light bending to create that. So you have the lens sensor right there on the camera bar, but the actual main engine of the sensor is sideways. It's inside, and so light comes in, reflects into the actual sensor itself. I was like, okay, now we know why there's a camera bar. Now it makes sense.
Yeah, and that's one thing I know a lot of people are going to complain about. And I was looking at the detailed video on that, and I was like, it's kind of big. Like, you know, it reminds you of like the Huawei Nexus 6P. You know, and I can kind of compare it to like the, you know, when I guess the original, you know, iPhone 12 came out with the little camera bump. People were like, oh, you know, complaining about it. And I mean, you still see it on devices, but this thing is going to be from one side to the other rather than just like in the corner, like on a Pixel 5a or something like that. So I think a lot of people are going to complain about that a little bit. I was like, you know, it's not something I'm going to be a fan on. I know it's something that the cases will be like, you know, I guess, I mean, everyone's going to get a case, but like if you look at like the edge of this, look at how almost flush that is compared to like what you saw in the video. I mean, literally it like pokes out a little bit, you know what I mean? And this is the Pixel 5a.
I'm gonna run down everything for Sneed because I know he's at work. So Sneed, here's what we got. Okay, so we got the 6 Pro, the 6 going for $599, the 6 Pro going for $899. What we got, they did a lot of talk about the Tensor chip and how it's going to play with within the Pixel 6, bringing things such as, you know, language translation without the need of internet connection. So everything is translated through within the chip itself in real time, and you can use it in conversations in real time. It also will translate in videos and stuff that you watch in real time. So if you're watching a YouTube video that's in Spanish, it's going to translate everything quickly and fast, where it's just like you can stay up to speed with the video while understanding what's being said. 5 years of OS support, and that's minimum 5 years. It can go beyond 5 years, but minimum is 5 years support. Of course, we get the 50 megapixel camera on the Pixel 6 along with the 12 megapixel ultra wide. On the Pro, it's the 50, the 12 ultra wide, and a 48 telephoto, which using light bending to be able to use a bigger sensor. So that's the whole purpose of the camera bar. Bigger battery in the Pro, obviously. So we're looking at that. It's insane, Sneed. If you're gonna grab one of these, bro, I mean, I had Technoid on here earlier, and Technoid's already talking about getting a second phone, and he's opting to go for the Pro. So there's a lot to cover. And this guy right here is gonna get in his hands, and I won't, so I can just sit here like some crazy ass stalker just drooling over the phone when you unbox it. But yeah, it was a good event. They really did focus a lot on the Tensor chip, and by rightful they needed to, because this phone is going to do way more than what. I mean, I said already, it already put the Pixel 5 obsolete. It makes the Pixel 5 obsolete in just about every way. They've beefed up video. So they've actually talked about like the troubles with Pixels and video taking, and how they were able to actually, now when you take videos with the Pixel 6 and the 6 Pro, you're going to get what people would classify as the iPhone-esque type videos now, because the video resolutions are going to be way sharper and defined. I mean, Mike, what are your thoughts on all that?
I mean, you know, I don't think that they really went too much, I mean, more into detail than what I would have liked as far as the video goes. I know it's not going to be what you get in an iPhone 13 Pro Max, but, you know, the video definitely looked more crisp. You know, they did add the 60 frames per second in 4K, right? So I think that's going to up the quality of the video, right? For me, like, I still create in 1080, you know what I mean? If I do export, or, you know, whatever, sometimes I'll export in 4K, you know, on my editing programs, just depending. But for the most part, like for video creators, it's going to be good, you know what I mean? And you know, the detail that we saw looked very crisp, you know what I mean? It looked very clear and crisp, you know what I mean? Again, I know it's not something that Pixel focuses on compared to, you know, other you know, smartphone makers like the iPhone, right? But I think it's going to be a major improvement what we see on like the current gen lineups right now.
Yeah, because like I posted a tweet the other day, and so what I did was I took my kids to this really gorgeous park here. It had geese, swans, and ducks. We were walking around, and I uploaded a vlog on YouTube about it. But I took a 4K video with my Pixel 5. It was 4K 60 frame, and I uploaded one to YouTube I uploaded one to Twitter, and Twitter decompresses videos because a lot of people were like, you say 4K 60, but it seems like it's 720p. I looked back at the video on Twitter and I was like, holy shit, it does look like it. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And there was no editing. It was just I recorded and then uploaded. So Twitter does decompress video.
A lot of platforms will do that, you know what I mean? Because again, it's not like it's meant to have 4K, you know, at 30 frames a second on their website, you know, like opposed to like websites like YouTube or Vimeo that, you know, are video creator sites that need to have stuff like that, you know what I mean? So, you know, I can see like you know, that going on like Facebook also, even though Facebook has gotten a lot better with their video.
I gotta ask you something.
What's up?
When you get this phone in your hand, I know you're gonna record your unboxing to get that up, but off camera in your personal life, what is the very first thing you're gonna test on the Pixel 6 Pro?
I mean, most likely because I'm gonna get home tomorrow night from work. Unfortunately, late. I get out at 10 tomorrow night, and I won't be home when the actual package gets here. Right. The first thing that I probably will test is the camera, of course. Like that's the first go-to thing that I'm gonna look at. Right. I'm gonna look at performance. Also, that's gonna be the second thing. You know, I'm gonna basically, like when I set it up, I'm gonna set it up like with my Pixel 5a, and I'm gonna connect USB to USB or whatever, so that I can have the you know, I can just kind of mirror whatever I have on this phone. That way it's like that on my other phone as well. So I'm going to do that, right? Once I get those set up, you know what I mean? And I don't know. I mean, honestly, I mean, aside from that, you know, I mean, camera's going to be the main thing that everyone's going to be looking at. And who knows, I might drive somewhere out there in the middle of the night to check that. One second.
There you guys go, man. Be expecting some astrophotography shots from him. By the way, if y'all didn't know, Android 12 is officially out. So hit your system update and update your Pixels 5a, 5, 4a, 4a, 5G, 4, 4XL, 3,
Let's
3XL.
take a look. The
3X.
5a. I'm going to check it out right now. Let's see if you're correct on that. I'm not sure. Is it out already?
Yeah, I just updated all three of these phones right here. The 4 is updated to it, the 3A is updated to it, and the 5 is updated to it. I gotta do the 3.
If you have beta, you would still just go to system update and it's gonna do it, or what?
Yeah, it's just gonna be a 4.83 megabyte file because we pretty much have majority of the software on the phone.
Yeah.
It's just to officially sign it.
So it's like an official version of it now.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. Like, why did Google do that? I didn't understand that. It was officially launched October 4th, but they didn't hand out the system update until today during the launch.
All right, so this is what I have: security update available, which is 8 megabits. I guess let me do the security update first, and then I'll look at that and bust out my Pixel 4a over here and see what's going on.
Did you have your 5A on beta, or was it?
No, my 5a only had how do you say, it had Android 11. I never put it under the beta program.
Oh, so then actually yours might be like 1 gig in size.
Possible. So like this is the Pixel 4a system update available. I'm gonna go ahead and do that, download it and install, which again, it's not gonna be a major difference. Where's my 3a? I'm over here, like my desk is filled with pixels right now. So
by the way, everybody, Mike is dreading the Android 12 because he is not.
I'm dreading it already, man. You already know what I hate. Like, it is what it is, I guess. But you know, that's something that I can go over into detail with the, you know, the new Pixel lineup. You know, I'll be like, okay, this is something that I still don't like, or you know, maybe it's something that was improved. I don't know. You know, maybe they improved on some of the items, you know.
Yeah, right. Android 12 is available on the Pixel 3s and 3XL. So, you know what, Mike, just for you, since, you know, I don't know if you try to get into the Pixel Superfans on Facebook, I'd recommend, you know, applying to get in. But just for you, I'm going to make a suggestion that with the next iteration of the Material U user interface, that they allow you to change the quick setting icon toggles on the top to a different shape or different size to really make it about you, you know?
Interesting. Well, okay, and my Pixel 3a, by the way, does have the Android 12, so I'm gonna download that one on that one. Of course, that one's on Wi-Fi. I only have a few SIM cards on these. I don't know why my installation on my 4a decided to pause. I did not press pause or anything like that. It does.
It's a weird thing. It will pause, and you have to hit resume. It's so weird.
Yeah, so
And
you
it's
already
just,
know that I'm probably gonna pop in my T-Mobile SIM on one of the phones and then my visible SIM on the other one. Definitely, I think the networks are something I am also wanting to look at, because I mean they don't mention any type of like ultra wideband. I mean, of course they're going to be 5G phones, right? But they really never mention anything as far as like connectivity, as far as like what they'll have, if they have ultra wideband capabilities or anything like that.
it
Or if it's
does.
going to be a basic 5G phone.
I feel like that the 5G connectivity in the Pixel 6 is going to be far better than the Pixel 5 and the 5A. The 5A is only limited to sub 6, so it doesn't connect to ultra wideband, doesn't get millimeter wave. The Pixel 5 is
Boo.
supposed to, but the Snapdragon X52 modem in the Pixel 5, it doesn't handle grabbing that signal very well. However, the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro, their modem is from Samsung, and Samsung does really good on 5G. So I'm expecting like leaps and bounds when it comes to 5G connectivity on both T-Mobile and on the Verizon network with the Pixel 6.
All right, I know, tough to see, right? But it says system update available. This is the Pixel 5A, so it's about 1.8 gigs of file size. So
It was 2
and
gigs.
again, I don't know why it's stopping the downloads. I'm connected to Wi-Fi, and all of them have great battery life. So
It does that. Here's two major flaws when it comes to Android that I will openly say to people. One is that when you're doing a software update, you toggle multiple different acceptances to get the update started. And even when it does start, it automatically pauses where you have to click resume in order for it to download and install the software update. The second thing about Android that's such a pain in the butt is when you set up one for the first time, you go through all the setup process. And then you get to your home screen, and in the notification, you get this notification that says finish setting up your Pixel. And when you click that, it brings you right back to where you set up your PIN, your fingerprint. And it's like, I just did that. Like, why is it telling me?
It's like, finish your installation. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. But it is what it is, I guess. That Android has their own thing, so does Apple. So
exactly, Bridget. Then you do it all over again. It's like, that's something I think that software-wise, Google really needs to tighten that up. Like, I'm a big software person, and so I really look at the way that software plays, and I look at it not from a geek or nerd standpoint, but from an end user standpoint. And what person wants to have to redo all that again when they've already set their fingerprint up? They've already set up email, the size of their text, the size of the display icons. Like, who wants to go through all that again? Nobody. They're gonna look at it and think it's broken the moment they see that again, and
that's why the way I set it up, I just do like the direct transfer from one phone to the other now, because like it has all your settings already set up the way you had already wanted it. You know what I mean? All of the apps that you have downloaded are transfer over automatically. You know what I mean? So again, we'll see how it goes. I'm super excited. Excited tomorrow.
I have a bone to pick with Google Photos. They need to bring back unlimited uploads for pixels. Why are you going to tease me with a phone that you've improved with photography, you improved with videography, but you disable my ability to back those things up unlimitedly? Like, it's your phone. It's the Pixel phone. Like, that's like putting a stripper in front of you and saying you can't touch. Come on.
Well, to be fair, some exotic dance places are like that, so it is what it is.
But I mean, that's as a reference point that I'm making, because like you're gonna tease us, and then you're gonna be like, yeah, but you can only back up unlimited photos from the Pixel 5 and earlier, and it's like, but you brought out the Tensor chip that can do all these amazing, wonderful things. You made every previous Pixel with the Qualcomm chip obsolete compared to what you're doing, but you won't let me back. Give me high res. Screw it. Give me high res backup. I'll take them scaling down my photos just a tad bit for unlimited backup. But give me unlimited backup. Like, I know they want people to subscribe to Google One, but geez.
I agree, because it's something that they offered with the Nexus devices. You know what I mean? Unlimited, storage, and I guess I'm one of those lucky people that was fortunate to have an original Nexus. So I guess and I have Pixel phones prior to the 5, so I guess I never had issues with like the unlimited storage, I guess. You know what I mean? But I think they're probably wanting, financial wise, I think it's one of those deals where they're probably trying to compete with with Apple, because Apple offers their cloud storage, with their iCloud and iCloud photos, etc., like that, in video. Of course, they start you off at 50 gigabytes for like $1 or $2 a month or something like that, and then the more storage you want, the more you're going to pay for, obviously, right? So
let's throw Apple in the mix. Apple, what the hell is wrong with you guys? Give your people unlimited, and that's the thing too. Same thing with Apple. Their videos is great. You can do all this stuff. You can make a Hollywood movie with their phones, and you can take all these crisp photos. Like, then give your people the freaking unlimited backup. Like, come on. I mean, I know there's no other device that runs iOS. I get it, but still, give your people that. That's to me, that's insane. Like, photos should be unlimited backup.
Update size 3.97 megabytes.
That's the one that had beta on it.
Yeah, I had all the updates on my beta. That's why. So, my trusty Pixel 4a. I wish they had like a version of this, but like a smaller version of the Pixel 6. You know what I mean?
Maybe the Pixel 6a will come at that point.
That'll be interesting once those devices do start coming out, right? What are they going to look like? What's the price range? Are they going to be like a little higher, now that they're going to have the tensor chip? You know what I mean? I think that's going to be interesting. And my thing on that is, like, should Google have waited to release, something like that rather than throw out the 5A? You know what I mean? But I guess it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, with the A series will always be one generation behind the flag, right?
Yeah.
So the 6A will come out after the 6 does. I mean, that's just their endless loop cycle of device releases, because they all play that game. Google, Apple, Samsung, they all play that game. Well, not really Apple, because Apple doesn't really go for mid-range. They do it like every couple of years with the SE, which would be considered, it's not even a mid-range anyways. It's still flagship specs. But going for like their special editions like every couple of years, they don't really have a mid-range, but Samsung has like a boatload of them. But they release them throughout the year, so Google just has like 2 calendar days basically. Well, 2 calendar days. The I/O event usually was reserved for the next A series, and then the Made by Google event's always for their flagship hardware. So
yeah, the amount of mid-range phones that Samsung has is kind of ridiculous, to be honest. You know what I mean? I'm glad they're giving their customers variety, right? But it's like the only one that I was kind of really impressed with was the A52, because I had my hands on that when I purchased that one personally. I used it for a little bit, Surprisingly, it didn't work on AT&T or Cricket's network. It worked on Visible and T-Mobile though. So, because I had sold it on eBay, and I was like, okay, Amazon says that it's supposed to work with AT&T or whatever, and I was like, that's Cricket, you know what I mean? So it didn't work, surprisingly.
That's strange. I mean, well, it's kind of sad though. I mean, like, I am excited for the way where 5G technology is going, but I don't like the way that carriers are about to push 5G, which is why, like, for me, to anyone that's like looking for a phone, I truly recommend that they go unlocked if they want their phone to work 100% on any network.
I try to go unlocked.
Because like the OnePlus Nord N10 5G, which was offered by T-Mobile and Metro, like I got this device unlocked, so I can throw AT&T. The problem is that T-Mobile MVNOs and T-Mobile themselves will give me the 5G on this phone. If I like right now, I have AT&T on it, and even though it's compatible with AT&T, it's only on 4G LTE. It will not access 5G network, even if they use the same NR bands as T-Mobile does. They won't, and that sucks.
Nope, I agree. But I mean, luckily the LTE network on T-Mobile is not horrible either.
Yeah, well, I mean, T-Mobile is getting slightly better. Like I said this the other day. So they may have been doing some sort of work here in my city, because both AT&T and Visible went down. Like the speeds was horrible. Like I'm happy they fixed it, because I wouldn't be able to live stream today. But T-Mobile was the only one that was like holding up very well. Like, I know that T-Mobile has bad practices. I get it. I follow the news on it. I get it. But their bad practices to me doesn't outweigh like what I'm getting from them. Like, I believe that they do fudge a little bit of stuff, and that's totally fine. But am I able to still do what I need to do on my phone? Yes, absolutely. And that's just what matters to me.
I really can't complain on my end.
Yeah. T-Mobile is getting better. Like you're right, Ray. When you strip all the news shit and just focus on the network performance, the network performance is decent. I'm on Boost Mobile with the EBD, so I signed up, so I don't pay anything for my line. My line is free through Boost Mobile on the $50 unlimited plan is basically what it is. And it has the T-Mobile network SIM card. I don't think I'm going to switch it over to the AT&T one because AT&T is very limited with 5G in Phoenix as of right now until they build out more. But T-Mobile is working. Google Fi works pretty damn good in a spot where I'll tell you this apartment, like my bedroom, I think was the crash site for UFO, and like there's like foreign radiation here that just obliterates my connection with any other provider because everything is under, I would say, is under 10 megabits per second, except for T-Mobile. T-Mobile can reach over 20 sometimes. Oh, I gotta restart the phone. It's like restart your phone now or wait till 2 a.m. Like, no, restart now. Mm-hmm. I don't want to wait till tomorrow for it. Like, but yeah, I'll run a Boost speed test because I know Boost is like limited to like freaking 35 gigs, which is fine because I've been using Boost mostly. Yes, I do have these other phone lines and stuff, but I don't use them as much as I use my Pixel 5. And so I think I'm like at 27 gigs of data for the month. And the limit before slowdown is 35. So I could make it work for me. Other people, they'll say like 35 sucks and they can't do it. They must use their phone for a lot of things. I don't use it for my hotspot. I use the Los Mobile line for a hotspot. But until CenturyLink gets out here on the 27th and installs my internet, they're taking forever. I gotta get away from Cox, man. Cox sucks.
Yeah, I'm thinking about getting away from Spectrum. I'm like super tired of Spectrum internet down here where I live. So, and I'm considering getting like the T-Mobile like internet because it's offered in my area. So I'm just like, oh.
Hey, if it's offered, dude, go for it, man. $50. I mean, I've seen some really good. There's a YouTube channel that you should check out called Hometown Custom PCs, and he does a lot of video updates on T-Mobile home internet, and he builds custom fans for the modem because the Nokia modem that you get from them, it tends to overheat. He's actually built custom fans that you could buy from him, and it'll keep your modem cool as it's giving you internet. And the internet speeds it's been decent. Hell, you could put that in your car as like a mobile Wi-Fi hotspot. Just put the little router in your back seat, plug it in with a DC adapter to the cigarette lighter port. You're golden. Wi-Fi anywhere you go.
I know, that would be cool. But now, I mean, thinking about it, we're grandfathered in a very inexpensive internet. That's why. So that's why I'm just like, I'm just gonna leave it like that for now. But eventually, who knows? We'll see.
Oh man, the Pixel 6 Pro Sunny Edition is sold out. This is probably the only benefit for me why, since I can't buy the Pixel 6 right away. This is probably one of the benefits for me because they'll restock in like the seafoam green. That's the one I really want. My fiance, she wants the pink one. So we're both getting the regular Pixel 6s. She wants the pink one, I want the green one. But I'll take whatever I can get. If it's sold out and they're like, all they have is the black one, fuck it, give me the black one. I don't care. Because I'm not really staring at the color of my phone all day long. I'm looking at the screen and using it. So,
yeah, that raises the question: which colors are they going to send me? Like, what's going to come? Because I figure like all creators are going to get different colors. They're not just going to send out specific colors. I mean, maybe they will. Who knows?
I'm gonna take a guess. I'm gonna say that you're actually getting the sunny cream colored one. I think you're gonna get that one because that one seems to be like what they would consider their exclusive color, and they usually give Pixel members the exclusive colors. Like you would have got the Oso orange if they brought you on when the Pixel 4 launched.
Watch, they send me the pink one. I'm like, well, okay, it's whatever.
Well, I mean, if you're getting both phones, then yeah, the pink one you would also get too, because the Pros don't have the same color as the regular 6. So the 6 has the green, the pink, and then the black. And then the Pro has the beige sunny cream colored one, then the black one, and I forgot the other one's like a dark to light gray one. So they have like those 3 colors. So if you get both phones, you'd get the sunny one and maybe the pink one.
Well, I guess I'm just glad that there's a lot more color options than the last like flagship, Pixel devices that were out, because before it would just be 2 colors and that's it. And now they're giving more color schemes. So, that's always good. That's always a good option for people that want to buy these phones.
Yeah, definitely. And again, you're getting yours tomorrow, man. Like, I can only imagine when you tear open that box when you get home from work. Matter of fact, someone call his job and put a bomb threat so they close early so Mike can get home to his phone. Be like,
yeah, no, don't do that because I still need to work. No, I don't want that.
Compensation where they'll be like, okay, we had to close for emergencies, but we'll still pay you your full shift. Like, they don't do that.
Nah, I mean, it's cool. I mean, the when I got the Pixel 5a, I didn't even know it had come. Like, I just remember getting like some sort of like message notification saying, oh, you'll be getting a device, but I thought it was another phone. So because I was expecting another phone, and I got home and it was the Pixel 5a. I was like, oh snap. I got the Pixel 5a already, so at least now I have more of an idea like that when I'm getting it. So we'll see what I do with them tomorrow night. That's the thing, like, I might want to just get hands-on on one, and I might not touch the other one until the weekend, because I'm off Saturday. So we'll see. I might only look at the 6. I might not touch the Pro until the weekend, or vice versa. I might do them both. Who knows? We'll see. Like, I might do a simultaneous unboxing of both. We'll see how that goes.
Hopefully, I don't know, RJ. Like, I get that, because like RJ's part of Team Pixel, and like, he's never received two Pixels. However, like Latrell was mentioning it, that the box that's coming through FedEx is about 3 pounds, a little over 3 pounds, and so I know for at least I'm guessing that the Pixel stand is something that you're gonna get. Maybe you're gonna get some other stuff too, like like cookies or something. I don't know. Team Pixel sends some really weird stuff. But I'm just praying that it's both phones. Like, why not? I mean, like, you guys put in a lot of work on your videos and such. You guys do deserve to be able to get both phones and be able to compare both phones not only to each other, but also to, like, various other devices out there. So hopefully, fingers crossed. If it's just a Pixel 6 Pro, hey, man, he got the Pro. So at work, Mike has no excuse to say there's a language barrier with the customer. He can pull out his Pixel 6 Pro and just resolve all customer issues right then and there. So you have no excuses, man. You have to be able to do it. But RJ, did you are you getting yours, man? Let us know. That way, like, people know where to go, because they're gonna go check out Mike's. Bridget was just in here, which is Ladies Red Tech Review. They're gonna go check hers out. Tony Pazzo was also part of Team Pixel. People are gonna check his stuff out. Latrell with the Centec. So let us know, man.
Isen Car is the name that you want to call it now.
It's Sen Toyota.
Isen Toyota. Isen Camry.
You got the next one. Yeah.
Sorry, my dogs keep jumping all over me.
Oh, no, don't worry about it, man. They're dogs. Like, I'm gonna be handling people's pets, because like that's a new job that I start. So I'm actually going to be working at PetSmart, but not at their store, like as an in-store rep. Actually, at their call center as a team lead, because I never knew this about PetSmart until I got this job, and I start on November 1st. But you can call in to PetSmart and schedule for like your dog grooming or your cat grooming, or if you're going out of town, you can schedule your dog to stay at one of their kennels and stuff. And so, like, they have a call center that handles that volume of customers all across the United States. And then, of course, the call center agents, they need a team lead who monitors their calls, helps them with any issues, and also coaches them. And so I start November 1st on that.
Congratulations, by the way.
Yeah, almost there.
Almost there. That's the 5A right there. And I don't know why it's taking so long to install 4 megabyte thing on the Pixel 4A, but it's
optimizing. There. That's why it's optimizing for all the apps that's on your device. So if there were certain things that were built into the APK file of the app that was only meant for like full Android 12 usage, it's going to be available once this software update's done. I just looked at the bands, no C-band listed. Yeah, that'll probably be a drag, because I know there's a lot of people who like looking forward to C-band, but at the same time too, I still feel like that I feel like the 5G connectivity is going to perform much better than the Pixel 5, hands down. And again, I have to reiterate this because I'm still in shock of it. The Pixel 6 cost $100 less than what the Pixel 5 launched at. Like, who does that? Now we know. Google. Yeah, I appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it. You're like, no, really, Vlad? Well, I mean, there's no such thing as a perfect phone, and it may not be for everybody. I know that people are looking for a device that supports C-band. This won't be the phone for you then, you know. And there are other devices out there that will support C-band. Like, to me, there's no such thing as a perfect phone. I'll always say that. However, when it comes to the Pixels, though, it's right up my alley for what I want. I love the price points, but man, C-band is a sore miss. It is. I really would have wished that it did support it. And it really makes me wonder what modem they're using from Samsung, because they're using a Samsung modem and not Qualcomm, unless that rumor is incorrect. But from what I know, they were saying that they completely left Qualcomm. They're not even using Qualcomm's modem. So it makes you wonder what modem are they using from Samsung? Because I'm on Verizon and it's congested as hell, so C-band will help me. Yeah, I'd see that. But there are some places where Verizon is not congested, though. I mean, it is congested here in Phoenix at times, and only in specific zones. And I would say more of like the east side of Phoenix is mostly congested by Verizon. Going further out, like east towards Scottsdale, Mesa area, it's not as congested. So. Oh man, the excitement, man. Well, for you still got more excitement. You're getting the phone. The rest of us, I mean, I'm surprised that the Google stores crashed. So,
that's good though. People are hyped up about the phone, so that it's selling out, or hopefully selling out.
Yeah, I'm just like, I can only imagine myself right now because I have like really bad anxiety. If I was pre-ordering the phone right now and it was crashing on me, I would literally throw my laptop across the room. I would get so aggravated because I'm like trying to get my phone. I'm like that when it comes to phones. Like I buy a new phone, it's like, okay, we're shipping it out today. It should arrive to you by Friday. My anxiety is through the roof for the next 3 days because I want the phone in hand. I want it now. I'm like that JG Wentworth commercial. It's my phone and I want it now, type of thing. And so, but it's the price you pay for buying unlocked though. Got to get it delivered to you. Unless you go to Best Buy and Best Buy carries them.
What if Target has them unlocked?
Oh, definitely. I mean, that is an option too. Like if Target sells them at the unlocked, I would just go there and buy it. I'll walk out with it the same day and then make my countless Pixel 6 videos until people unsubscribe from me because they're tired of my uploads.
That'll never happen.
Yeah, RJ's like, I just got Android 12 on my Pixel. Yeah, they launched the system update during the event. Ray, as a matter of fact, Ray was the one who told me that the Android 12 update was live. And then during the live stream of the event, I picked up my Pixel 5 and hit system update. And it was like, preparing system update. I'm like, holy, like you launched it during the event now? Like, who knows? Maybe they did it because they knew a lot of people would be watching. So they thought it would alleviate the network to allow the system update to download. But yeah. Anyways, what is your plans for today, Mike?
Right now I am going to go run some errands. I have to go mail out something. I'm selling some stuff like on eBay or Feebay, if you want to call it, whatever you want to call it. Just drive around the city. Yeah, I was thinking about doing like a vlog on the 5A, just for the heck of it. You know what I mean? I want to work on my other YouTube channel, Crypto Tech, over here. So we'll see how that goes. I hit 200 subscribers just like a couple of days ago, and I'm already like at 210, 215. So that one's actually
nice.
Surprisingly growing. So I might make like a crypto video a little bit later also. So just relax, I have the video or the Zoom call with the rest of the Team Pixel members tonight at 7, I believe. It's going to be 8 p.m. Central and 8 p.m. Eastern and 7 p.m. my time. So looking forward to that. I'm actually going to turn the camera on this time, I think. But again, we'll see how it goes. I don't know who's going to be.
Yeah, turn your camera on. Be involved. Yeah. You are Team Pixel, man. Get your ass in there and freaking give some feedback.
No, So yeah, I'll be doing that tonight, and then of course, whatever else, watching some AEW Dark on YouTube later on tonight, something like that.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be watching that. Before you go, I gotta ask you a wrestling question.
All right, what's that?
Do you think my guess for Crown Jewel is that the Usos' younger brother is going to debut and attack Brock Lesnar to throw the match where Brock doesn't actually lose to Roman Reigns, but Roman Reigns doesn't lose the Universal Championship?
I can't give my opinion on that too hard because I didn't even know the Usos had a younger brother. That's news to me. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I'm like I watch so much wrestling, but it's like, I don't really follow the dirt sheets and everything that's going on too much in the background. I mean, yes, you see stuff posted online every day, right?
Yeah.
But no, I mean, for the most part, like probably Lesnar is probably going to end up on Raw, maybe, I think. I mean, who knows? He might win the Universal Championship. I mean, it is Brock Lesnar, right? And that's Vince's big money draw, you know what I mean, as far as like his pay-per-views or events and everything like that. Never usually tends to disappoint in the matches either. I rarely, even though people hate Brock Lesnar for what he is, you know what I mean, as far as like in the business, because he basically has Vince McMahon by the thumb, you know what I mean, that he can do whatever he wants basically. But it's, he's that caliber of a talent, and it's a different generational talent as well. People need to understand that, you know what I mean, like he's a different type of athlete that came in and changed the game, for wrestling in general. When he did, guys like him, guys like Kurt Angle, really changed the business and the way, people look at athletes as far as the wrestling is concerned. So I think, honestly, again, as far as, the Usos and their little brother goes, again, I can't tell you, right? But I think, I honestly think that Lesnar will take the title away from Roman Reigns. I think he will win. We'll see. I think Paul Heyman's gonna pull like that, the double agent, switcheroo or something like that.
It's been crazy how that's just been going on. I laughed at the contract signing.
Yeah, the funnest part about this feud is seeing Paul Heyman's facial expressions when stuff is going down, because he's just there holding the title with Roman Reigns, and every time anytime he mentions Brock Lesnar, he doesn't really mention Lesnar in a negative term, if you've noticed that in his his promos. He does still hype up Brock Lesnar in their promos, but the thing is, he'll throw in the tribal chief will, he will do this, he will do that, but he never really says it if he's backing Roman Reigns 100%, you know what I mean? So I think that's what I've been enjoying about this ongoing feud so far, and the fact that Brock Lesnar is a face, it's so it's
not.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a face way back before he left, but that didn't last very long, and then it went from him being a face. And then his feud with Kurt Angle for the Unified Championship.
I was gonna say I like Boombox Lesnar, where he's just in the ring with the Money in the Bank contract, and I think it's so interesting, that he's cutting more promos by himself. You know what I mean? He's never needed to do that, right?
You know what? It's funny you say that, because he actually does sound like. Everyone always thought that he had Paul Heyman as a mouthpiece because he couldn't talk well in the promo, but he does very good. I mean, he had me laughing when he told Roman that he looked over the contract with his advocate, Paul Heyman, earlier, and Roman's face was like, what? And Paul Heyman's face is like, that face of fear. Only Paul Heyman has that type of animation, man. That's why I like him. Say what you want about his personal life and his finances. Yeah. I don't care. But the guy's good in the ring. He cuts some badass promos. You just can't deny that.
Yeah.
He's great.
In fact, he's probably the best promo or person that's a non-wrestler out there right now, probably in the business. I mean, there's not a lot of them, right? But he is one of them. He is the top wrestling manager that can cut the promos, and that's why Vince still uses him. I mean, Vince doesn't have to use him, you know what I mean? He doesn't have to pay Paul Heyman, but the fact that he can do what he does is pretty amazing. So I've been enjoying it. But Thursday, unfortunately, I think Crown Jewel will be what time in the morning, I think, right? Or it's gonna be around 12 o'clock.
Yeah,
our time, I think. So I'll be at work, so I'll probably have to watch the rerun. So I'm gonna try to stay away from from the internet and spoilers while I'm at work, but we'll see. I might end up watching like the first hour of it just on my phone when I'm on lunch, because I sit in my car when I'm on lunch at work. I don't stay in the break room, so I'll go.
Yeah, Ray, I watch wrestling. It's like you didn't know I was a wrestling.
Honestly, that's what I do. I'll go and sit in my car and I'll watch YouTube videos or just listen to music while eating my lunch. Like I try to get out of where I work, because like I just get tired of talking to people.
Yeah, you have, especially with what you do at work as your position. It's good that you get out of the work environment for a while, so it really feels like you got a break.
De-stress, yeah, that's what I would call it.
Definitely. Yeah. What do you think about AEW and the direction that they're going? Because I think so there's people that's actually talking about it. They kind of feel like they're robbed because they did get that one match with Bryan Danielson and Kenny Omega, which ended in a stalemate, in a draw.
Yeah.
And they really thought that AEW would have pushed Bryan to go after the AEW title, but it's actually not happening. So what do you think on that?
I mean, with what's happening right now, first of all, we have to recognize that, yes, they are bringing in a lot of talent that's former WWE talent, former top tier talent, right? You guys like CM Punk, guys like Bryan Danielson, and not just them, they're bringing in other guys like Adam Cole. They recently brought in a few other people, right? And of course, it's going to be a mix. You're going to get your indie guys, you're going to get your former WWE guys that are game changers for AEW. So, one thing is, I feel like they're kind of oversaturating what they're doing with CM Punk and Daniel Bryan a little bit, or Bryan Danielson, excuse me. I think it's the right thing to do with them, though, as far as not putting them in the title picture right away. I think that's important for people that are pro wrestling fans, because it's not like WWE where someone can just go in and automatically get a title shot. Minus what they did with Ruby Soho, because that's what they did with her. As soon as she went in, literally her second match was a women's championship match. So it kind of kills it for some people, because you think about it, like, what's the point of the number system, their winning percentage, if they're not going to really go by it, right? So I think that's a good idea, that they're not really consistently just throwing people into title matches all the time, right? And if they do lose, it's back of the line. It's back to square one, basically. I really am enjoying what AEW is putting out. Now, of course, a lot of people are comparing the new Friday show to SmackDown, and they're like, oh yeah, it's so much better. Of course, each show is going to have its plus and minus, right? I think that again, Tony Khan is doing a great job in satisfying what the fans want. But again, I think it's to the point where CM Punk's only been there a few months, and I'm already tired of seeing CM Punk. You know what I mean? Whether and not so much for his matches. I just feel like they're just throwing him out there just to cut promos, or they're using him at the announcer booth also. You know what I mean? Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson, he's not really doing that. He just wants to go in there and he wants to wrestle. And and it's the same thing. I know it's the same thing for CM Punk, where he wants to get in the ring with all these young guys. But the fact is, I like what Bryan Danielson said when he came in. He's like, I know how good I am. You know what I mean? And I want to fight the best. You know what I mean? CM Punk, it's a different thing. He wants to kind of get in the ring with the younger talent. And of course, I think it'll come to a point where him or Bryan Danielson either will be feuding or tagging together, and they will eventually end up in the spotlight. I think it's just a matter of time, right, before either of them end up in the title picture, whether it be the TNT Championship or the the AEW World Championship. And that's one thing I love about AEW, is they're not just focusing on a specific championship, right? They kind of spread it out. You know what I mean? They look at the Women's Championship. They're looking at the TNT with Sammy Guevara. They're going to bring out the new title, the TBS title, which is a mid-card Women's Championship, which is something we've never seen ever in any company. So I think that's going to be interesting when that does happen, right? I'm still waiting on the female tag championships to come out, right? Yeah. And eventually there will be a trios tag team championship. Eventually, it's somewhere along the line. I don't know when that's going to happen. I know it's been discussed, right? I think that'll be popular I think that they should have some sort of like title for their YouTube shows because they have Dark and Dark Elevation, right?
Yeah.
So I think like it should be to the point where like, okay, like if you're trying to elevate something like somebody like what you have in the title of your show, right? You should have, you should have something like that for people that are only showcased in that specific show, because again, there's a lot of talent that, that's being used on those shows that isn't really getting airtime on, TNT or those shows specifically. So AEW is doing a great job, and I think it's a different view for people that are hardcore fans. Like I don't think I would consider myself a hardcore fan. I think it's nostalgic. I think it brings back like memories from like the WCW eras or the ECW eras where you're watching it and you're really invested into the wrestling, not so much the storylines, because I mean the storylines are always going to be there. They have better build-ups as far as like what they're doing with their storylines, because they're not oversaturating the pay-per-views and events either, right? WWE has like 15 pay-per-views a year opposed to AEW where they only have four or five max, right? Yeah. And they're really dedicating the time to put their actual televised shows and make them pay-per-view quality shows. They're throwing in matches like the Kenny Omegas versus Bryan Danielsons, and again, it is what it is. The one thing I can complain about AEW though, and I will complain to you about it, is the fact that they have so many factions in the actual company. So like literally everyone is in a faction. You know what I mean? The only thing is you don't see a lot of female factions. I think they were trying to kind of go with that at the beginning a little bit, but then they kind of stopped. And now they just have like managers like Vicky Guerrero, and which the female division I think stands alone is great, right? But like you have Inner Circle, you have the Elite, you have MJF's group, you have the Dark Order. Again, there's just so many like little different factions, and there's so many people in these factions. It's not like it's just like a group of 3 or 4. Like it's 6+ people. You know what I mean? So like I'm not a fan of that, because you're not really. I mean, yes, factions can feud with each other, but then eventually that gets boring, and you want to go back to singles competition. And I think they are doing an okay job with that, though. I think that's probably something Tony Khan recognized, that we're kind of getting tired of the feuds, the 8-man tag matches, or whatever you want to see. I mean, again, I'm not opposed to 8-man tag matches, but it's something that you see all the time now. Like WWE, that's what they do. Like every show, they have like a 6-man or an 8-man tag match, or a 10-man tag match, whatever you want to call it. I think it's interesting though, and I think right now is the best time to be a wrestling or a pro wrestling fan, whatever you want to call it, and not just AEW. You have Impact Wrestling that's signing great talents as well. And you have continuing promotions like Ring of Honor. Again, I don't follow New Japan, right? But I know that AEW is in works with New Japan as well as Impact Wrestling and NWA as well. So I think that's something that I love about AEW opposed to WWE, because WWE has the power to do stuff like that. They just don't want to. They would rather just showcase their own talent. And it's just like, you're not calling yourself World Wrestling Entertainment if you're not like, going around and, getting all of this stuff, and like what AEW is doing, basically, you know what I mean? They're showcasing other talents by putting them in matches in their company. No, maybe they're not signing them, right? But it's giving you more eyes on other promotions. It's like, oh, okay, who's this other talent from this promotion, right? Like that makes you interested in wanting to know who all of these New Japan guys, who all of these Impact guys are, you know what I mean? Vice versa, they had the women's division with Serena Deeb and NWA. Thunder Rosa originally came from the NWA, and they bought out their contract, and she is one of the top, female wrestlers in the world. Like I got to meet her, which was amazing. I got to meet her a couple months back. One of my local promotions brought her down to wrestle a match against a female wrestler. Her name, I forgot her first name, but she goes by Slamovich, I think. And she, that Slamovich girl, was on an episode, 1 or 2 episodes of AEW Dark, and I think now Impact signed her to a contract. So now she is wrestling in Impact. She's an Impact signee, and I think that's amazing. Like what they are doing for other wrestling promotions, and not just promotions, but the talent that are going into these promotions. Because maybe whoever you're seeing on AEW Dark and Dark Elevation are coming out just on those shows, but they're getting, you know, more recognition because of it. So they are, you know, these stars are getting signed to other promotions, and I think it's great. I think it's great for the business. You know what I mean? I think what Tony Khan's doing is amazing. I don't think WWE is ever going to go away. You know, I think it's creating an atmosphere where they know their show needs to get better, you know, on a weekly basis, and not just SmackDown. Raw needs to get better. I'm not a fan of what's happening with NXT at the moment. I really stopped watching NXT. I honestly stopped watching NXT after it left the network. Once it left WWE Network, well, I mean, it stayed on the network, but once it went to the USA Network and they started doing live shows, I just was not a fan of that. And I was just like, no, like, you know, it felt unorganic after they started doing USA shows. And I was just like, oh man, like, you know, it's just really not fun to watch anymore. It's not what the quality was when it was on the WWE Network. So anywho, I mean, you know, that's pretty much my take. I know I always have a lot to say about wrestling, and it's because I have a friend that's super into wrestling, and we're always talking about it.
I don't mind, dude. I don't mind, because I'm into wrestling, so it's always good to get different perspectives on things, you know. The reason why I asked you about that was because, like, so, you know, I got a friend that's also like into wrestling, right? And we kind of got into this debate because he was upset that after they had their match, like Kenny Omega and Bryan Danielson had their match and it ended in a draw, he was expecting that they would push Bryan Danielson to face Kenny Omega for the AEW title. And I told him it was a bad move for them to do that because AEW is still under a microscope from wrestling fans. The last thing we want is a repeat of TNA Impact when they just started bringing in old WWE talent and then putting the title on them instead of, you know, their native Impact guys that they totally abandoned, especially when like Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff them came in. It was like, put the belt on Jeff Hardy, put the belt on these people, and it was like, it didn't make sense. Like, put the belt on Kazarian, put the belt on freaking, I mean, they did it on AJ Styles on several occasions, but it just didn't seem organic enough. It always seemed like that anytime someone jumped ship from WWE, they were going to become the new champion. And I was like, they didn't want,
I can totally get it, like why people would hate that. I can see it business perspective wise, why they would rather put the titles on, you know, the WWE talent, because they know more eyes are going to go to them, you know, even though they switch over shows, etc. like that. I mean, it's going to cause ratings. That's why they do it, right? It's not. I feel like it's not so much to undercut like talents like, you know, at the time AJ Styles, who everyone knew at the time, even back then in the early 2000s, that he was going to do amazing things, and you know, he has ever in his entire career, you know, he's been everywhere. He's, you know, won world titles everywhere he's gone, pretty much. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, I can't say too much on Impact Wrestling because, you know, I only followed it like the first 6 months and then I stopped watching after that. You know what I mean? You know, it is what it is, though. You know what I mean? I think I'm surprised they're still around. You know, and I'm as a wrestling fan, you know, to still enjoy what they have to offer is something, right? And the fact that AEW is still working with them, you know, I think Christian is still their champion, if I'm not correct on that.
I believe so. I don't think he's had a title defense defending the Impact Championship, but he's been more in the light of, like, you know, feuding with the Elite.
Yeah, so right now, like, I think he's just focusing on that over there, but they're not really focusing on him being champion in AEW, which is rightfully so, because he's, you know, he's not an AEW champion, he is an Impact champion. So
yeah, it's a nice touch to do that. I like when they don't, I like cross promotions, but I also like the respect boundaries when they have it. Like when they have a champion from another promotion come over, they don't try to shine too much on him just because they don't want it to overshadow. But it's the same thing vice versa, right? Like when Kenny Omega went to Impact, he went with the title, but they didn't really emphasize too much about his AEW championship because they didn't want it to overshadow their title, the Impact Championship. I think it's a good move that they do that. So I respect.
I have been watching, you know, the Impact pay-per-views when they actually happen. You know, I don't buy them, but I find streaming sites. I find streaming sites that will post them. And anytime, you know, they involve, like, you know, either Kenny Omega or somebody that's in AEW, I'll go ahead and put it on. I'll be like, okay, I'll watch this match. You know what I mean? I remember when I came home from work one time, and you know, I think it was the Impact Knockouts Championship, which is their women's title. I think that's what it's called. You know, it was their champion is Deonna Purrazzo, who's former WWE and she's been champion for like almost a good year already, right, since like last year. But I remember Thunder Rosa came in like as a mystery competitor, and I was like, oh damn, this is pretty badass, you know what I mean? Like I'm enjoying this, you know what I mean? Yeah, but anywho, again, it makes for good, it makes for good product all the way around when they open the Forbidden Doors, and I think that's one thing that I've been enjoying with AEW so far. So I don't know. I mean, it's my go-to show right now. I mean, I still watch WWE, but if I'm home on a Monday or a Friday, I'll put it on. But it's not like, oh, I need to watch it. Like, I mean, and really the only storyline that I'm still really heavily interested in is Roman Reigns, and that's it. I don't really care about any of the other storylines going on right now.
Yeah. Dude, I honestly gotta say the development of Roman Reigns has gotten really good.
He is the best heel in the business right now. Like I don't care what people say. I don't care if they think Kenny Omega is a better wrestler. He is the best heel in the business right now. It's hilarious.
It is, and this is the way they should have started with Roman Reigns. Like this is why fans rejected him, because they try to push him as a baby face in the beginning and shove him down people's throats.
He's a horrible.
This is where he should have started. Like,
you know what I enjoy about Roman Reigns being a heel is it's like he's a bad guy, but he's also not a bad guy. Like it's like, it's so interesting how to see how his character cuts promos and everything like that. Because again, he's not really like out there talking shit about everyone or saying like, I'm gonna beat your ass or this and that. He's just like, he's just like, I'm better than everybody, and I'm gonna prove it. Just like, and he does. You know what I mean? Like, he's not, and it's not to the point where like, his cousins are constantly interfering in matches. There have been times where he's like, stay out of the way. I'm going to prove to everyone that I can do this. You know what I mean? Like, and he does it. You know what I mean? It's not like, he hasn't proved us wrong. You know what I mean? And even before he became the tribal chief, I mean, we know Roman Reigns can duke it out with, a lot of the top tier guys. I remember when he was feuding with Lesnar a couple of years back with Braun Strowman, Drew McIntyre, guys like those, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, he can settle it in the ring. It's not so much that, it's just like he really needed to work on his character development, and it's just blossomed over the last year, you know what I mean? Which I'm glad to see. I'm very glad to see that. I'm still waiting for guys like Edge to get more of an opportunity though. Like, I think it's interesting that they bring back talents like Edge, but they really kind of are throwing him in feuds that I don't care about. Like, I don't care that he's in a feud with Seth Rollins right now. I think it's great that his promos are again at the top of what they can be, right? Edge was never a bad promo guy to begin with, even before he retired, you know what I mean? So I know that's not something that he wants to work on, but I would like to see him working with more younger guys, not just like guys like Seth Rollins, because it's like he's wrestling against guys that are already accomplished in the business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Seth Rollins, he's been a 5-time champion. He's a Grand Slam champion. I don't care that he's wrestling Seth Rollins. I want to see him wrestle against guys like Xavier Woods. You know what I mean? Or guys like Big E. Guys that we've never really seen him wrestle against. People like that. You know what I mean? And again, maybe WWE will eventually look at stuff like that. Maybe they'll be like, okay, maybe this is what the fans are going to want to see, right? But we know
I like his Brood intro. I love that SummerSlam.
That was a fun thing to watch, by the way. Like if people that are on here that remember that, by the way, for the Brood, when Edge was so cool. Yeah, and what's funny? I got to meet Gangrel not too long ago. I didn't get to meet him, but one of my friends did, and I got to edit the video that they did on that. But I got to meet Carlito, and recently I got to meet Kurt Angle. I got to meet Kurt Angle and Melina. Melina is just a sweetie, by the way. And I have the interview up on my Armbar page on YouTube. But and we got to meet Mark Henry. Although we interviewed Mark Henry basically as soon as we found out that he was getting into AEW. Like he had just signed. Yeah. And he lives in Texas, so of course, he traveled down to the event that we were at, and we interviewed him. But man, dude, the guy looked like he was pissed off. Like I don't know. There was there was some drama going on with the event. The guy that was in charge of the event and Mark Henry. Yeah. Anywho, it kind of made me open my eyes differently to Mark Henry on how he acts on certain things. I guess you know what I mean, because there's some people that will put on a happy face for you, and then there's other times when they don't. So it's wow, It is what it is, though.
That is awesome, man. So, people watching, if you guys are into wrestling, you guys enjoy it, you guys want to see some stuff that Mike's been doing besides his crypto, besides his mobile tech, he does have a podcast. And I don't know if you guys know this, but like when I found out you were doing a podcast about wrestling and I would watch, I thoroughly enjoy it. Like the way you got, the way the group of you guys and how you guys bounce off each other and the dynamics, man, it was great. Throwbacks to like, the late 80s, early 90s, and taking those perspectives and comparing it to today's generations. It was like, like you see a lot of YouTube channels that talk about wrestling, but they never really call back to an old thing if you can recognize it's being recycled, like an old storyline or something. Like they don't get it that quick. It's like they got to research and then make a video together. And you guys just free flow your conversations while sticking to the subjects you guys want to discuss. And then out of nowhere, you guys will make a reference to like something that I remember when I was like 7 years old and I saw.
Yeah, no, and that goes to credit to my podcasty hosties that they're very knowledgeable, right? And me, like, sometimes there's stuff I don't remember, right? But when that one guy does, say, oh, okay, I remember when this, I was like, oh yeah, like, it's like, a light bulb pops up in your head, right? It's not something I've been doing. It's been a while since we've done it, honestly. There's a specific reason why I kind of stopped doing it, and that's something that I will talk to you outside of the chat, right? Yeah. But it's something that I would like to maybe talk about, getting back into, but with my YouTube buddies, people that are into it, right? So guys like you, or somebody else. Even Latrell, dude. Latrell likes wrestling. He's a closet wrestling fan, dude. Like, dude. I know he is one of those guys. And I have another buddy that lives down here that is very heavily invested into talking about wrestling, right? So it might be something that I might start talking about later on. It really just depends on my work schedule and whatnot. You know what I mean? Because like, I dedicate so much time to my channels, and then it's just so much content to put out. You know what I mean? I'm just like, sometimes you feel burned out doing it. You know what I mean? So. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's something that we can spitball down the road or whatever. Definitely, if you make this happen, I would love to join on. Of course, I'm gonna be busy though, because I already know what my schedule is. My schedule is gonna be from like freaking 12 to like the latest 10 at night. So my days off will be Tuesdays and Wednesdays is my days off. By the way, guess who's doing a Twitter space right now on the Pixel 6?
Who? Chris Perillo?
Chris Perillo, yeah, he's
I know he's gotta be. I know he watched the event. I'm gonna watch his live stream to see what he had to think, what he thinks about it. I already know, like, he's gonna focus on the software side of things, definitely. But all right, we're gonna wrap this up, man. We've been on for about like 2 hours. I'm gonna drop the link to your channel in the chat, bro. Like, do it. I'm gonna grab your channel link anyways and put it in my description.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll grab your crypto tech too, man, because cryptocurrency is the future. You guys really need to start paying attention to it.
It's a really big topic right now. Like, it's crazy how that's blowing up. So if you guys are interested in learning how to invest or use these apps, you can definitely check out that channel. So again, thanks for shouting me out there.
Yeah, definitely, bro. Definitely. And then you guys better tune into his channel for the Pixel 6 Pro unboxing and
tomorrow night. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it
goes. I'm excited for you. I'm happy.
It's gonna be tough for me because I want to make sure I'm within the embargo rules. That's why. So, and again, really, all they tell you is you can take video and photos, but you can only take pictures of the hardware and videos of the hardware. I can't really be showing much on the screen though. They said only the home screen. That's it. So that's all I can really do is just show the home screen.
I mean, they'll go over it tonight when you have your Team Pixel meeting. So definitely, and you know what, dude, you better turn your camera on and be involved in it and ask them. Just get clarification from them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's something I might be asking later on tonight. And of course I know other Team Pixel members, so I'll definitely ask them as well.
All right. Well, when you see Latrell and all them in there, tell them I said what's up. And then, you know what? Like, I'll be watching tomorrow, man. Definitely looking out for your video.
All right, man. Well, you take it easy. Have a good afternoon, and we will talk soon, okay?
All right. And for everyone watching, y'all take it easy. Enjoy the rest of your day. As always, law.